All right, welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed yesterday's interesting video on VR and vehicles. It's interesting, but anyway, Knock. For those who don't know what that game is, it's a game that recently launched. It's basically Rocket League in VR, but with bows and arrows. It originally was priced at, I think, $24.99, went down to $9.99. I made a video on it. Anyway, the game's seemingly doing very well, and I'm happy for it. But there was something in that game's product description that really set Reddit and other social bubbles kind of afire, especially from competitive players, that of Echo VR. And there was a little blurb inside their game description on the Oculus Store that basically it titled itself the first, and I believe it used the word true. I'm not going to research this, but that's some great YouTubing for you, right? But the first true VR esports. That's what's in their title, right? Now, intentions of why they put that in there, is any press good press? I don't care. That's what they put in there, and you can imagine no players in the Echo VR community got a little annoyed. However, some recent news, time of filming this, came out that another game might actually take that crown to the first true VR esport because it has world-changing possibilities, and we need to talk about it. For those who don't know, the game that I want to talk about is Racket NX, also commonly referred to by some people as Racket NX, but it is spelled Racket NX. It is a very interesting game where, depending on how you basically have a dome that you're in with either a single player campaign or a multiplayer version where you play against one other person, and you're in this dome with lights all around, and depending on how hard you hit the ball with your racket, it will glide around this dome and collect points. It is a very strategic, a very fun, and just a very interesting take on racquetball, but in a virtual setting where you can utilize VR the way it should be, by using different force, and it's really bringing VR to its potential in that kind of specific niche of racquetball. It's a great game. Highly recommend it. But Racket NX just made a huge partnership that we need to talk about. First reported on VR Fitness Insider by Sonia Haskins, who you may be familiar with. She is a staple in the virtual reality community. But the Racket NX VR game is officially sanctioned now by the International Racquetball Federation, which is pretty big. In a historic moment for immersive tech and sports, following a decisive vote on the International Racquetball Federation, the IRF, the VR racket sports game Racket NX has become a fully sanctioned sports discipline of an IOC-recognized global sports federation. With this recognition, which becomes effective on April 1st, 2022, Racket NX becomes the first electronic game to be an official global sport. So we need to think about that. Not only is this the official Racquetball Federation, but their Olympic Committee approved. In fact, this is really the first step in becoming a bigger esport. So effectively, and like I said, I'm a shitty YouTuber who doesn't do a crap load of research. To me, this kind of does make Racket NX the first truly VR esports. In fact, with this proposal and this avenue it's on, if this keeps moving forward the right speed, it is entirely plausible that we see Racket NX as a VR Olympic game, because the Olympics do, in fact, and they have mentioned this numerous times, want to make the Olympics more accessible, more fun. People want to watch it, and I'm sorry, but the whole concept of the Olympics has always irked me. I understand track and field, I understand things like that, but when you start getting into some of the more ridiculous ones, and let's call them what they are, they require specific conditions, snow, water, specific things, for specific equipment that are very expensive. And in my mind, when I think of Olympics, I think of competition among the world that we have, and everyone having access to this fair standards. Why I like track and field so much. Running. Yes, I understand that there's certain shoes and there's all the science of it. Everyone wants that small competitive advantage. But at its heart, everybody can run. Everyone has that opportunity. Respectfully. Everyone has the opportunity to try that out. And with certain sports, that just isn't true. Some countries cannot afford to build Olympic-sized swimming pools or have facilities that anybody can have access to practice these sports. But virtual reality potentially can give that accessibility. For $299, a unit that can be shared among many people. You have the same types of tools and training available to yourself that anyone else has. And it is entirely exciting that this could possibly be the first Olympic esport that we ever see that is based off physical movements. And that is a key here, because the Olympics have been very clear that they want it to be based off of physical movements. And unfortunately, as much as traditional esports, you know, your Call of Duties, your Halos, your Valorants, those are completely real esports, but they don't have the physicality, and the Olympics are never going to tolerate that. They've made that very clear. VR has the potential to bring that physicality and the accessibility and the excitement. Think of how much fun it would be to watch the mixed reality production of people across the world in this virtual Racket NX setting. It's beautiful. Like, you can hear how excited I am. Like, this is really cool, really big news, and I wanted to share it with you. We'll see how this plays out over time. I don't really know how it will, but I'm really excited for what the future will bring, and I'm hoping that more and more sports like this, like I'm hoping Golf Plus is a great opportunity for golf fans. I mean, look how expensive golf is. It's not obtainable. It's not obtainable at all. VR makes it obtainable, and that's super exciting. But that's the video for today. Let me know what you guys think. It's not the car story of yesterday. I don't think that was that exciting to some, but I think this one is, and I'm really dedicated to bringing you news that is not just what might be trending, but what I think is actually needle moving for the niche as a whole. That's gonna be it for today. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Peace.